The Detroit Lions made a ton of moves in the offseason so far, with the biggest acquisition probably being C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We're still waiting on what DJ Chark is going to do. Looks like there's a battle between the Panthers and Lions for seeing who DJ Chark will play for. Brad Holmes has worked his magic, and they now have upwards of $22 million when it comes to the salary cap. This is without restructuring Big V thus far. We still have Quintez Cephas. We restructured Charles Harris and Romeo, and we opened up a ton of money. With that being said, Mel Kiper has decided to put out his 3.0 mock draft. Now, this one is different from number 1 and number 2. It's very similar to Todd McShay's, though, but it's different from what Mel has done before. Both of these picks are controversial, and I can't wait to hear you guys sound off in the comments. And again, one player that we just cannot seem to shake. And I'm starting to wonder now, is it a possibility the Lions could take this individual? But without further ado, let's get into it. With the 6th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle out of Georgia. Here's what Mel has to say regarding Carter and the initial 2 drafts that he did. Detroit added veteran corners Cam Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley and versatile defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson in free agency, which likely signals is going to pass on the top corners with this pick. But did you watch this defense last season? It ranked bottom of the league in most statistical categories, including yards per play allowed at 6.2. The Lions have to keep trying to fix it. No duh, Mel. The easiest way to do that? Take Carter, who has had a troubled few months. Last week, he pleaded no contest to misdemeanor charges of reckless driving and racing for his alleged role in a 2015 car wreck that killed Georgia offensive lineman Devin Willock and recruiting staffer Chandler LaCroix. He also showed up at his pro day 9 pounds heavier than he was at the NFL Combine, and he was unable to finish the position drills. He's no longer in the mix to be the number 1 pick. Everything I've heard from people in the league, however, is he won't drop too far. He's likely still to be a top 10 selection. Carter's talent is undeniable, and I could see a team such as the Lions taking him here, filling a position of need. Now, this is a guy that we have talked about at length, and he always comes back to the Detroit Lions. I want to say before the trade from Chicago that Chicago and Carolina made is when Mel's 2.0 came around. As much as I question Jalen Carter, the one thing I don't want to see is him land on the Chicago Bears. I'm not sure the Detroit Lions are going to take Jalen Carter. The caveat that I'll put is this. They know more than we do. They've talked to this guy, no doubt. They have watched the film, and I went back and I watched the draft process of 2021 and 2022, and I saw Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's face and how ecstatic they were when the player that they really wanted, they were able to get. I'm not going to rule out that the Lions don't take Carter because they know more than we do. I always said what would rule out him completely for me is if he pleaded guilty or if he was found guilty of the charges. He pleaded no contest. So I think what the Detroit Lions are going to do is probably one of the biggest question marks in the draft. We never know what they're going to do. So am I taking Carter off the table? Not completely. It would surprise me if the Lions did take him, though. And I know a lot of you still want him at all costs. I don't think they take him, but I'll say this. If they do, they have to have a plan in place. It must be that they trust him. It must be that they saw something in him that we couldn't. I'll just leave it at that. So let me know what you think of Jalen Carter at 6 for the Detroit Lions. I think him going to the Chicago Bears would be worse. With this pick right here, you start to wonder, who is Mel Kiper anyway? But let's get right into it. With the 18th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame. I got the Lions' help alongside the defensive line at number 6, and I wouldn't be surprised if they double dip here with another pick on defense. That unit was that bad last season. Thank you again, Captain Obvious. Instead, let's pivot to the other side of the ball. Why would we do that? They traded away T.J. Hockenson last fall. Yes, we did, and used a committee approach to the tight end position, with Brock Wright, James Mitchell, and Zane Zylstra each catching at least 11 passes. All three are under contract for 2023, But shouldn't Detroit try to upgrade? Mayer is the most complete tight end in this class. He's physical as a run blocker, and he can run seam routes and get open for quarterback Jared Goff. He caught 67 passes for 809 yards and 9 touchdowns last season, and had 180 catches in his college career. He could be the lead guy in Detroit. Okay. In the first part of this, what Mel Kiper said, yes, the defense was that bad. Why would we go to a tight end when we just gave a tight end away, traded one away for a pick that we're going to get in this draft and next year's draft to get another first-round tight end? I don't care what this guy does. I know we do stuff for entertainment, but this Mel Kiper has to be doing this for entertainment because this, to me, makes zero sense. He started off by saying the obvious. I wouldn't be surprised if they double dipped here with another pick on defense. That's probably exactly what we're going to do. And I know some of you guys want a quarterback. I have two options to me. It's going to be, in my opinion, my humble opinion, it's going to be a defensive player at 6 and a defensive player at 18. The only exception, in my opinion, at 18 would be Bijan Robinson. I know we got David Montgomery. David Montgomery is going to be here for 3 years. DeAndre Swift is only going to be here for 1. If the only offensive player that I could see him taking right now is Bijan, with maybe an exception if DJ Chark leaves that we get a receiver. They could wait to the later rounds. It depends on who they want, where they're looking at them, right? But this, to me, is just absolutely ridiculous. So let me know in the comments below. Mel Kiper's 3.0. Hopefully, we only have one more to go, which I think so. I want to say he does 4. So with it being March 21st, I'm guessing there'll be one probably in another 3 to 4 weeks, one right before the draft, and then we can be done with all this mock stuff and see who will be on our team. My name is Derek. Help me get the 9K today. I would really appreciate that. Then we could be on that push to 10K, and we'll have exactly 5 weeks to get to 10,000 subscribers, which means I need to average 200 a week, so I got to get to work. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself, and as always, go Lions.